It's a good thing Instacart allows the shopper the opportunity to block a customer after a bad shopping experience. You'll see why on this segment of the Gig Geezer. There it is, Wednesday evening, May 19, 2022, and I am just really starting on the second half hustle, and I'd accepted actually a Grubhub order for $13.42, but for some reason I thought I accepted it, but all I did was really take a screenshot of it and never really accepted it. And so I kind of kicked myself, but then I caught a break by accepting a stacked DoorDash order for $16 an offer from Fazoli and Outback. There in the plaza, there's Outback, then there's Fazoli, then there's Hooter, and then there's Chili, and then there's IHOP. I've shared that before. And so I just dropped off, as you saw there, the first order, and that was showing an offer of $13.25, but it actually paid it showed an offer of $8.25, but then it paid $13 in fact. And this is someone I've delivered to at least on 3 or 4 other occasions. And so now I'm going to the second half of it where it's showing an offer of $8. And according to Para, it was actually, this stack was supposed to pay $18. So I'm already ahead by at least $3. So if this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. And if you are a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming back. Now, if you saw there, you saw where I had my mask on, and once I got back to my vehicle here, I took it off. That is my practice. Whenever I go into the restaurant or to the stores, I wear a mask. And when I'm delivering, I wear a mask. In most situations, I say most situations because there are some situations where, depending on the app, all I'm going to do is drop it off. There's not so much of a likelihood that I'm going to interact with someone, and I'll just drop it off and keep it moving. Those are the apps in which I'm not subject to driver ratings, and those apps are Grubhub and Waiter/Bite Squad. But as a practice, I wear a mask. I feel as if, because of me having worn masks for the better part of 2 years now, that if I do not go into a store or a restaurant, or if I am not completing a delivery in most situations without wearing a mask, it's as if I forgot my wallet or my keys. And so I'm doing all this and heading back to my vehicle to put it back on, because it's just that much of a practice for me. Now, this is not a public service announcement to advocate wearing masks, because I realize that there are people who do not wear masks and refuse to wear masks. They were refusing to wear masks 2 years ago. Last year, when there were those restrictions, when they were restrictions, pretty much they dared you to, especially where I'm at in South Carolina, and especially in Lexington County, and that. There's a reason why I say especially Lexington County. You just have to understand the demographics of this state for you to understand why I say that. They pretty much daring you to tell them to put a mask on back then. So that said, again, this is no PSA to advocate you wearing a mask, but I'm just curious, as I'm sharing at least my thoughts and all. Are you wearing a mask still? Have you stopped wearing a mask? And if you would not mind, in the comment section, share why. Now, I will say this. In my case, I am, as I've shared, I am nobody's spring chicken. That hence why I am the Gig Geezer. I will turn 60 in my next birthday. So if you say, dang, you Geezer, you don't look like you're turning 60. If you're saying that, if you're even thinking that, thank you for the compliment. But I know that I am inching towards those I guess you say those critical age groups and all, where the likelihood of something happening can happen. But I've been extremely fortunate the last couple of years in that I've not anywhere close to had COVID so far. I am twice. I've taken both vaccinations. But as a personal practice, what I have done these last 2 years is, I'll show you. In fact, I'm reaching over now. I keep wipes with me. I wipe down my steering wheel. I wipe down my phone. I wipe down the turn signal and the windshield wiper lever all the time. I am not a germaphobe. And I am not a neat freak by any stretch of the imagination, but the only thing I keep junky is my desk. And that's because I just don't function on a clean desk. Somehow I don't function with a clean desk. That's just me. But that has been my personal practice these last 2 years. I am careful about shaking hands with people, unless it's someone I know, and even then, it's first opportunity. I got the handy wipes that I'm wiping my hands down. Personally, I prefer that leave it at the door. The second person was handed to me, and there seemingly are certain people, certain demographics of people that stipulate that they like for you to hand it to them, and it's almost like a 90%. It's almost 90% among those people who do it. I don't know. I mean, maybe they just feel that they're I don't know. Maybe they are concerned that somebody will mistake their address. I don't know. They want to make sure that they get the food in their hand, which is a possibility. Who knows? But I also noticed that those who do the hand it to me, they don't tip that great. They really don't. They're very nominal to marginal at best tippers. All right, I just dropped off that order, and so that's the second half of this double stack DoorDash order did in fact pay $8, and so it was $21 altogether. And actually, while driving up en route to the first drop off, I accepted a $16 plus Instacart order from Sam's, and so that's where I'm heading next. Now, inside Sam's, I see a mix of people wearing masks and not wearing masks. I will be wearing a mask. As a rule of thumb, when I go into when I do the Instacart orders, I take with me the handy wipes and I wipe down either the shopping basket or the push carts, the push racks, or whatever you want to call them, the push dollies that are provided at Sam's or Costco. At Sam, I usually get the push dolly, and I'll keep one with me until I complete the order. I guess that's just me looking out for me, though. Now, I don't know when this segment of the Gig Geezer is going to come out. It is a Thursday evening, and I believe that I'll be posting my most recent segment tonight. It should have been uploaded yesterday. But I have things to do. I mean, I'm also an insurance agent, and I do write business, and I do have customers to see, or potential customers to see. I get tired. I try to maintain some regimen of conditioning, but oftentimes I find myself going to sleep when I get home in between hustles. There are a lot of things I do other than just uploading content and out a couple of times a day during my gig hustle. But with this segment of the Gig Geezer, what I am gonna share with you though is the fact that this week has been as challenging as last week. But I believe that I really had some challenges. I've had some challenges. Now Monday was a really good day. Both top and bottom was a good day. Tuesday was a fairly good day, thanks to a bomb of an order that I got. But yesterday was a struggle. Yesterday was a struggle. Now, I did make my number and all, but it went into overtime, especially during the evening hustle. In fact, it's kind of similar to what happened to last week, in that I came home thinking that I had lost. I came home at after 4 hours out on the evening hustle, and 8 hours overall, finishing at $185 and change. And I started going over the numbers and all, and I saw a late night Instacart come out, and it was for a number that I normally would not jump for, but $10, 3 items, I'm thinking of it as like a DoorDash order. And then after dropping off that order, I saw 2 Taco Bell orders for a good amount of money. Both of them combined, one was on Uber Eats, the other was on DoorDash. They were combined offers of like $17. But it turned out that Taco Bell was closed, and so I got cancellation money that totaled $10 for both of those. Add the other $10, and I was at $206 yesterday. So we're talking kind of a 23rd hour, 59th minute miracle there. Today, first half hustle, I did not have a single DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, or Waiter/Bike Squad order. The money I made, which is like $106, $107, was off of 2 Instacart orders and 2 point pickup deliveries. And so the DoorDash are my first 2 of the day, and now me doing Instacart is actually my 3rd Instacart of the day. So I am about 5 minutes removed from leaving Sam's. I left Sam's about 45 minutes after arriving. You're going to wonder, how in the world did a gig geezer end up leaving Sam's 45 minutes upon arriving there on a 16-item Sam's warehouse order? Here's how it happened. The customer whom I had drove me up the wall. She will be reported. She will be blocked. I am en route to delivering to this lady who is supposedly wheelchair bound and lives in a trailer home. Half of the items that she asked for, they didn't have. Now this order pays, supposedly paying $16. I really could care less how much it pays now. I've often said sometimes the ones who give you the worst problems are the ones that don't tip. At least this is not something I've said on previous Gig Geezer segments, but this is something that I have thought. The ones who don't tip, the ones that give you the most problems, or don't tip worthwhile, give you the most problems. This is one of them. The ones who don't tip, or who tip marginally, as I just mentioned about, those are the ones who do the hand it to me. Now, I described how I've had kind of a rough week as it is, and this customer does not make it any better. Anyway, this fucking customer has caused me to waste a fucking hour, and I'll probably be at about maybe somewhere between $30 and $35 into this second half hustle, and I still got to try to make it happen. But this customer drove me up the wall right from the start. Batteries. She asked about batteries, and I ended up having to add another set of batteries. There was rotisserie chicken. They were out of rotisserie chicken. At about 6 something in the evening, they're probably going to be out of rotisserie chicken. When she said that triggered back memories from another Gig Geezer segment in which I shared how a customer went off on me because she demanded a refund and accused and blamed it on me that they were out of rotisserie chicken. And it was at the same location. And I told the lady, the last time I had an issue with rotisserie chicken, the customer went berserk and went as far as blaming me for there not being any rotisserie chicken. She asked about, when I got to the register, I know I'm not really giving everything in chronological order though, but when I got to the register, she says, no ice? I'm like, what ice? Oh, I told you that in the beginning. I didn't recall seeing that. But then I remember there was a message that came through when I first looked into the order, but I didn't pay attention to it and I didn't see it initially. And so I go back in, she asked for 3 bags of ice, 3 16-pound bags of ice. Kind of reminds me of 3 bowling balls that I take with me when I go bowling for money. I have a triple bag, 3 bowling balls, Those bags weigh 50 pounds each. So I'm gonna have to lug 3 16-pound bags of ice to this lady, a big watermelon, some batteries. You know, by the way, her being in her wheelchair, I feel like knocking her out of that wheelchair when I see her. But anyway, I guess what I'm thinking about now is how do I overcome this canyon that I just fell into. This black hole that I fell into, because I have fallen into a black hole on this particular order. I've had some bad ones, but and then she had nerves to ask me, I bet you just love your job, don't you? Right. Yeah. That's really just the highlights of this particular order. I'm certain that I'm preaching to the choir when it comes to customers from hell, but this one is up there among the archdemons. Yeah, whatever names of demons that are below Satan, this person is that one. Yeah. But anyway, I'll get back with you once I've kind of gotten away from this lady, dropped off her order, and hopefully have gotten something else to talk about. Just my day. As soon as I turn onto the road, the ambulance is coming by. But yes, I have just dropped off that order. I'm going to attempt to unearth myself, starting with an $8.15 Grubhub order from Jersey Mike. It is going like probably about 7 minutes from that location. Yes, you saw there, not a good living situation. The lady who came out was the mother of the person who made all the order, who was the person who created the order. Her daughter is 44 years old and is in a wheelchair. They have been in that place since October. They have no heat, no electricity. It's not a good situation. And as much as I'd like to think, I have literally given the shirt off of my back to people. I have given my last dollars to people, and yeah, I mean, I've been known to be a good-natured person, and so, but you know, despite the obvious, that was a difficult customer. A very difficult customer. And perhaps, you know, maybe I should, after all these decades of living, I should have some empathy and all. But at the same time, do not take out they have no way of getting around and all. Do not take out your shortcoming, your frustration, your anger on someone who is basically trying to provide a service for you. You can't get around, but yet you're going to drive me up the wall. That doesn't fly. That doesn't fly. And so, yeah, you see there on the inset, difficult customer would be a compliment. Difficult people. And you know, we deal with that a lot of times in this gig, in this hustle, in this grind. It goes both ways. You know, you're supposed to be professional. You're supposed to be efficient. You're supposed to in your best way be a good person. But it also goes both ways. And I think that's where the disconnect is in this situation and in a lot of other situations among us gig people. And so that's probably where the acrimony sets in as well with people. But anyway, I'm about 5 minutes from Jersey Mike, and I'll get back with you. Hopefully hopefully there's another miracle out there tonight for me, because I really need it right now. All right, one last thing about this order from hell. So apparently this order is going to pay $17.06, which is a little more than what it was offered. The tip was $7.90. It's almost irrelevant to me about the tip and the money right now. It really is. I come out here to treat things. I treat this as a business. I treat folk the way I would like to be treated. When I shop for folk, I shop as if I'm shopping for myself. It's just like when, as an insurance agent, and I've had to tell people this from time to time. Look, I'm just as much as a customer as you are, and I'm not going to rip off myself, and I'm not going to rip off you by offering you bogus stuff. And when I worked at the car lot, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm not gonna sell myself something bad. So why would I try to do that to you? Unlike a lot of folk I recall at the car lot who would, if a customer came back, like if they sold a vehicle over the weekend, they came back on that Monday, and then you couldn't find them when the customer showed up. No, I never had to run and hide from a customer. I'd run into them out in public. There's a case of a customer that I who bought a vehicle through me. This is in 2002. The next year, I was working group health insurance, and ran into this guy at the insurance company. This was a health insurance place, and he still had the vehicle at that time. And then I remember running into another customer whom I suspect is now dead, but he bought a vehicle through me. And in fact, the last time I saw him, he said he still had that vehicle, and he bought that in 2002, and I ran into him like 2016, 2000. It was a long time ago though, but he still had that vehicle at least 10 years later. So if you just get where I'm saying, I've always tried to do things the right way. When it comes to business, I may not be the most ethical person in personal things in life, but when it comes to business, I try to do what's right, because I know that if you treat folk right, they'll take care of you. So anyway, that's where I'm at with this. Again, I'm looking at Jersey Mike now. Hopefully I'll get some type of volume of orders, but if not, it looks like the gig geezer is going to take a loss in the worst way. All right, here's what happened. I stopped over at Jersey Mike, but I'm leaving with a DoorDash Subway order, and I've accepted another Grubhub order at Wild Wings for $9.73, and that's going to take me back. The Wild Wings order, if I get over there in a fair amount of time, that order is going to take me back towards where I would rather be anyway in terms of area to work. The DoorDash order that I've accepted and picked up is along the way back over to the Grubhub pickup. So I'm still in a bad situation right now. So $21 plus $17.06 is $38.06. This is $10. That's $48.06. And let's presume $9.73. That's $57.79. That will put me at about $1.64, $1.65 for the entire day. And with a reasonable chance of getting to that overall number of $200. But right now is getting orders, dropping off this order and getting to the next order. Situations like this, you want to get yourself in the next position. Situations like this, what you want to do is get yourself in a position as soon as you can to pick up orders, and hopefully the volume of orders are in such a way and are favorable that you can make your money. Well, when I realized where I was going, which is Wild Wing here in the Sand Hill area, I've recalled previous experiences with Grubhub orders and Wild Wing, in that somehow the app is always down, the app is whatever. And so what happens is that they have to put in the order. Well, for $9.73, and knowing where that order is going, I figured that it would be best for me to get out of that order and take something else, which I did. And that was a $10 mod pizza order on DoorDash. So the $10 mod pizza order is probably gonna put me at about $1.65 for the evening or for the day, and $58 in about 2.75 hours. This is not good, man. But you just never know how things end up. Last night I had the 23rd hour, 59th minute miracle, and who knows, I may just happen when I get back in a position delivering this mod pizza order, I may catch that bomb of an order and it's the ball game. So, well, one of the things I've also noticed with orders, and I'm like about probably 6 minutes away from dropping off this DoorDash order, is that some of the places no longer seal the orders. Some of the places, well, a lot of the places already have, when it comes to the drinks, you're filling the drinks. They'll hand you the cup and you fill the drinks. That's not a big deal. I know that there have been drivers who have said, look, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. Nobody's going to put that liability on me and so forth. But the thing is, like, I noticed, like with Papa John Pizza, a lot of the places that I've picked up from lately, they're no longer sealing the orders. Mod Pizza happens to be one that they're still sealing the orders. I also remember there were places where they would put, for the drinks, when they would fill them, they would put a seal on the lid. They're no longer doing that. Where the straw, they would put a seal on where the straw hole would go. There are places no longer doing that. It looks like places are trying to get back to the way it was circa 2019 in their own ways, and then others are just being cautious. Since I most times am handling food, or at least handling the containers or the bags that the food is coming in, that is being delivered to people, I would rather for them, just me, I would rather for them to be sealed. Even though I wear a mask when I drop off most of the items in most situations, still, it's just that added, I feel would be added responsibility on everybody's part, so that the customer is not at risk. That's just my opinion, though. Well, one of the things that folk often talk about are when you deliver to like a residence, that the place is not marked properly. The number is not on the mailbox. The number is not anywhere visible on the house or anything like that. Well, that's the same thing with apartment complexes. Doesn't matter that this was a second floor drop off. Of course, the typical one is a third or fourth floor drop off. But just the mere fact that, I mean, it's dusk, it's almost nighttime, and can you just imagine trying to find that apartment number? I mean, the first apartment on the left, the apartment number was at the top, like up along the roof line. Then the apartment that I actually went to, it was visible, but it was like a small column of numbers, a small column of digits, and you didn't see it coming in. You saw it when you're coming back to that building, because the other apartment number, the numbers were vertical in a column, barely noticeable. Probably in daytime it wouldn't be a big deal, but there are some places where you can't really pick up on the apartment numbers even in the daytime as well. But that just seems to be a common experience, at least in South Carolina. It could be in your market as well. But by the way, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hey, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. Alrighty, alright, let's get you caught up now. I accepted a $15.14 Instacart order. Instacart has been pretty good to me in terms of opportunities, today in particular. And I was able to find all but one item, substituted with some chocolate milk. What it is that the person wanted a half-gallon chocolate milk and then a gallon of chocolate milk, so 1.5 gallons. Did not have the gallon containers, so got another half gallon. That may knock it down below $15. I also accepted a $9.52 Waiter/Bite Squad order. Yeah, those guys. This is only my second order that it looks like that I've committed to just this week alone, and we're well into Thursday evening, and about 3.75 hours into this evening hustle. Both of those together should put me somewhere around $1.90, meaning that all I need is one more order, more than likely, in order to hit my number for the day, $200 or more. That would be a very fortuitous scenario to just come back and just make $200 after that disaster of a situation with the other Instacart order. All right, so we got the Bite Squad order, and we're probably about 10 minutes away from dropping off this order. That order is going to put me at $1.90 and what I need is one order. I'm 4 hours into this hustle, and I have made all of $83. Not that great, but then again, the first half hustle wasn't all that great either. Even though I made $107, it took me 5 hours with all those true delivery type orders in which it involved my truck. So it's just been that type of a day today. I'll get back with you hopefully with another order that I've accepted. For now, I dropped off the Bite Squad order. That was for $9.52, and it put me at $1.90. While en route to dropping off that order, I accepted an order type of order that I rarely do, but this one was for the right amount and for the ball game. So you look to your left, I'm looking over here, and they're wrapped around the building. I took a chance going up to the lobby area, and the guy was telling me they were closing the lobby for the night. And he asked me, what did I have? Did I have an online order? I said, yes, I have a DoorDash. So he asked me what were the last three numbers. Gave him the last three numbers. He said, I'll be right back. And he handed me that order. And now I'm about probably 5 minutes away from dropping off that order and calling it a night, making just a tick over $200 at basically $200.10. So yes, the Gig Geezer was able to somehow unearth himself and pull off a minor miracle after that early disaster of an Instacart order. Somebody was looking out for me tonight. And so I'm about to go drop off this order. And again, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other, hit that subscribe button. Give my content a thumbs up. Share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. And with that, this is yet another segment of the Gig Geezer. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your grind, may your hustle continue.